apparently Tectone got swatted. I've been wanting to see this as well. Tectone video, I got swatted.
I guess we can talk about it. Pretty crazy thumbnail and pretty crazy title. But I'm just gonna give you guys a little bit of story time.
No, I think this is the first time he got swatted, actually.
Been going on in my life, and what happened yesterday? I got swatted, but it was my first time, by the way. But I want to give you a little bit of lead up.
My take on swatting is that swatting should be attempted murder every time. I think so, because that's the actual reason for it. The actual reason is to endanger people, so it should be attempted murder if they catch you.
To what's been going on.
In fact, there was a case before where there actually has been a case of a swatting where someone died. And the sad thing is it wasn't even actually the intended target of the swatting, because the guy was an idiot. Basically, somebody said, yo, I'm going to swat you, bro. I'm going to swat you, bro. And then he was like, this is your address? And yeah, I was like, yeah, that's my address. That wasn't actually his address. And then they ended up swatting a completely innocent person who like stepped outside, and the police shot him. Yeah.
And I'm just going to be completely transparent with you guys. I'm a very paranoid individual. I have
Me
many,
too.
And I real quick, my
Me
mod's
too.
showing context real quick. My mod's showing context. Just so you guys see this. This is a real image. This was taken from last night. But yeah, I was in fact swatted last night. So to give you guys a little bit of context, I'm a very paranoid man. And it's often hard at times to understand, is my paranoia valid or is it not? Some people call it hypervigilance. Some people call it paranoia.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything wrong with being hypervigilant. I don't really think there's a problem with it. Like I'm telling you, like back in the day, I'll tell you a story. Okay, so back in the day, me and my mom, we used to store extra supplies, like in the garage and wherever our storage area was, right? We would have extra supplies. So like we would buy like a stockpile of supplies, and then we would go through. We would buy like another set of supplies, and then we would swap it in, and then we would use the old one, right? So we were constantly have like extra stuff. One of those things that we had was toilet paper. So like right now we have like 3 bags of like 3 of those like those Costco packs of toilet paper. We have like 3 of them, and every time we buy a new one, we just use the oldest bag, and then we just put the new bag like in there, right? And back in the day, people were like, oh man, Leaflit fucking crazy. Oh, she got all this toilet paper, like, haha, all this food, all this water, all this toilet paper, lol, like fucking crazy Leaflit. Guess who was the princess during COVID? Guess who was like, yo, Leaflit, do you have any toilet paper? Yeah, I had all of the fucking toilet paper. I had no problems, no nothing. We had the water, we had everything. Me and my mom were doing fucking airdrops to people. People would be like, I live in the city and I have no toilet paper. It sucks so bad. And like me and my mom would drive in there, and then we would just airdrop people like shit. Right? Yeah. All the people that were like, wow, like Leaflit and her mom, like crazy prepper people. Yeah. Who came asking for toilet paper during COVID? Yeah. We literally saved people's assholes. Actually, we're like the asshole saviors of 2020. Yeah.
I have lived a life where I've always felt like there were people trying to kill me. I am also schizophrenic, so a little bit of lore. I was diagnosed in.
Basically, when it comes to being prepared about stuff, I would rather be over prepared and like, oh, what a waste of time. I'd rather have that than be screwed. That's just how I think about it, right? So it's kind of like the way I see things like guns and security. It's kind of like the ideal scenario is that I never have to use it. The ideal scenario is like, oh, I've been doing all this preparing for like no reason, and what a waste of time. That's the ideal scenario. That is much more preferable to like, I didn't prepare and now we're fucked, right? That's how I see it, basically.
Freshman year of college back in 2012, but I'd always been seeing things since I was young. However, I will say this, I pretty much.
Leaf could survive a zombie apocalypse. I don't know about that, but like my mom is that kind of person where she's like, she wants to be prepared and ready for stuff. That's why she knows all these skills like carpentry and like some gardening stuff, and she can like do a lot of like electrical work and stuff like that. And she's really good at that stuff, right? Yeah. You still have iodine tablets? I do. I have some in my, like right here. Potassium iodide tablets. Yeah, I have them. But like, if shit happens, I'm good, right? These are gonna be worth so much fucking money. You know what I mean? I also have like a bunch of alcohol, and I don't really drink. I've got like vodka and stuff like that, and like whiskey and stuff like that. Because if shit happens, like, you know, you can craft medicine out of it, or you can also barter it. So it's fine. We also have like, ammo stockpile and stuff like that.
Don't see anything, don't hear anything.
Well, I mean, the thing is like if shit happens, that's how you get in on anything, right? Like say like, some kind of, I don't know, some kind of disaster scenario did occur and people were wilding out because here's the thing, guys, like what you have doesn't mean anything in the event of an emergency. It's like the first thing that goes out the window is any sort of decorum. If it comes down to it and people are starving and their kids are starving, you bet your fucking ass they're gonna freaking rob you and they're gonna kill you if they have to feed themselves and their family every single time. So the only thing you can do, like all of your supplies only matters to the point that you can defend it. But having extra supplies and like and defense capability actually is good for getting into other people's groups, basically. So like if there's like a group at the end, like a community that's like a community group that's like, yo, we're gonna band together and like, form a bigger group to protect ourselves. Especially if you're like kind of weaker, like you're like a woman, having some sort of supplies and stuff that you can offer, or skills that you can offer, helps a lot, basically. Because like, if you're not really good at manual labor, like having some other skills like cooking, medicine, those kinds of things makes you like more valuable to a community. Yeah.
Thing anymore. Maybe like once a month. I don't know how, but I just feel like I've got it under control. And even when I do see things, it doesn't really affect me. I have been going into more serious content lately, more controversial content lately, because I've been given this opportunity to do so. And it's been a lot of fun because I actually get to think about things and expand my knowledge about the world and try to expand my worldview and try to talk about issues that I think matter and can maybe enlighten people to having perspectives that would, benefit the world and their lives a little bit more. But things have been getting a little bit weird. I've been betrayed by a lot of people who I greatly cared about. I've been betrayed by people who I've been taking very well care of before. And
Sucks.
It's happened once, it'll happen 1,000 times, and it'll continue to happen for the rest of my life because the world is a very cruel place. At least that's how I feel these days. I have around maybe 8 security cameras installed around my home. I can see every inch of perimeter that's around my house. There's not a single blind spot, and I
Dude, I've got like 20.
own many guns. But things started to get weird a couple of weeks ago because there was this one car that
Can the volume be? Dude, the volume is maxed. Actually, it's completely maxed.
that kept on pulling up in front of my house. The person in the car I didn't recognize. And then they'd leave. Same person would pull up and then they'd leave. And shit's like that's like the shit that fucks with me. Because I'm like, who is that guy? Why do they keep on parking in front of my house? And why do they keep on leaving? Like, are they?
Oh my god, dude, I'm so like that. I'm like that too. I'm like to the level where like if a car follows me for too long, sometimes I'll turn off course, just throw them off. Am I crazy, chat? I do that. Like if there's a car that's like behind me for too long, I'm like, yeah, you know what? I'm gonna like turn here instead. Yeah.
They DoorDash. Are they this or that?
I also am the type of person that like if I'm at a stoplight, I always keep enough room for escape vectors. Like if I'm at a stoplight, I always keep enough room for either an escape vector or to run over a person that's carjacking me. So if a person gets in front of my car and they try to carjack me, I'm just gonna duck down and run them over like 100%. So it's like I always keep room. I always leave like 1 or 2 car lengths in front of my car. Yeah, especially in the city.
And I'd review the security cameras. I'd watch them sit there for an hour and 45 minutes, just sitting in front of my house, not doing anything, just sitting there. And I'm like, all right, well, I'll keep tabs of that. Strange. But the other night, this was maybe like 3-4 days ago, I'm streaming. It's 11:30 in the morning, and my internet goes out. And I'm confused. I restart the router. And I don't know what's going on. And then I, call them. They say there's an internet outage in your area. I'm like, oh, okay. Well, when's it done? Okay, sure. All right, I'll wait. Then I walk outside and I see my cables from underneath the ground have been pulled up and slashed. Someone slashed my fucking internet cables. And I couldn't check to see who it was.
You sure it wasn't like lawnmower
14
or something
hours
like
later, I reviewed the security footage, and it was actually just my old Asian neighbor. And he was gardening.
Yeah.
But
I actually had that happen recently where I don't know if was I streaming that day? I might have not been. I don't know if Waha's here, but like I was playing Fate Trigger one night and I DC'd. Actually, that was my internet going out because one of our gardeners basically cut the freaking cable on accident because like it was installed incorrectly. So when they were cutting like the they were cutting like the grass, they sliced the cable open. Yeah.
It freaked me the hell out.
No, it wasn't the gardener's fault. It was whoever installed the internet. They didn't put the cable, like they didn't bury the cable properly. So it wasn't his fault. It wasn't the gardener's fault. It was the cable installation, the internet installation people's fault.
Wow. It did.
Holy shit, you have a gardener? Talk about racist? Yeah. Whenever they come by, I say like the Mexicans are here because they're Mexican.
It did freak me the hell out because I was like, damn, who the fuck did that? Right? Why though? Because they were gardening. They were like getting weeds.
Dude, I was worried though because we had ice in the area. We had ice in the area like a couple weeks ago, and I was like, dude, is our gardener gone now? Dude, I don't fucking know. But he's still there, so I mean, I assume it's fine.
And they slashed my internet cable. But anyways, that takes us forward.
Did you find your gardener at Home Depot? No. So our neighbor. So when we moved, our neighbor had a gardener. And we saw him gardening their lawn. And so, like, we just walked up to him. We said, hey, like, can we pay you to do ours too? He was like, okay. And so we just, yeah. But he said it, like, in Spanish. No, he didn't say it in Spanish. He said it in English, but it was a very Spanish accent.
Last night. And, the things on the internet that I've experienced are, there are people who have come to my house. There are people who have said, if you...
All right, 30 now. Dude, okay, let me explain something to you guys. It is so worth it to have them do it. Okay, guys, you guys don't understand. Like, my Mexican gardener, his gardening skill is so fucking high. Like, it's his level, his like gardening level is so high. The amount that he can garden and the amount of like it would take me literally hours for the amount of time it takes him to garden. Like, it would take me forever. But he does it like so fucking fast because he's just like, he's just high level gardener, Yeah. Yeah.
If you play this game, I'm going to kill you.
I would actually be losing money by gardening myself.
Talk about this topic, I'm going to kill you. There have been people who have, approached me in real life. They've called me a white devil, called me other slurs for white people. Not that anybody gives a fuck. They've come at me.
No, like basically, like he goes around the entire neighborhood and he just does everybody's stuff. Right. So like he just like whatever day he basically just takes care of like the whole neighborhood. Cause like basically a bunch of people pay him in like the area. Yeah.
He called me a raging faggot, coordinated people to harass me via Discord, and found me in real life to do.
Sometimes my mom wants to do shit on her own. Sorry, I'm tangenting a lot, but sometimes my mom wants to do shit on her own. She'll be like, I'm going to build a fence. So like there was like this time where they wanted us to build a fence around they wanted us to build a fence basically. And we had to build a fence. And I told my mom, yeah, why don't you just pay someone to do it? There's like some handyman, just like pay him to do it. And my mom's like, no, I'm going to do it myself. I was like, why? And she's like, you have to understand, guys, like my mom is incredibly valuable. Her time is incredibly valuable in terms of like work, like it's in high demand and like she can do a lot of things. And yet she wants to build this fence. And I'm like, just pay some. I was like, mommy, if you worked for the amount of time it would take you to build the fence, you could build 2 fences. And my mom's like, no, I want to build it myself. So she ends up building the fence herself just because she wants to.
This shit. Thankfully now I'm strapped.
You don't have to min-max everything, Leaf. I know. That's why I cook, right? That's why I'll cook food, right? Like, what's not worth making? Like fried chicken. It's not worth making, but I do it anyway. Or I make food anyway. It's like, it's not worth doing. Some food is not worth cooking. Fried chicken is like number one food not worth cooking. But then, sometimes you just want to do it yourself, right? Yeah.
So I don't care.
Ramen. Yeah, ramen is super not worth it. But I've done it before. I've made ramen before.
But I used to not be. But I've received a lot of harassment in my life, and yesterday was a new chapter. And I know I'm taking it kind of lightly, and I know it's very serious. But you got to understand, at this point, I've seen it all. I've been through it all, and I'm kind of making this video because even though I'm taking this very well, I want to explain the danger to this and why I think it's happening. So last night, I ordered some food. I ordered one of my favorite restaurants in Austin, Texas. It's called Honest Mary's. It's delicious, very healthy, very clean food. They deliver, they leave me my little chicken, sweet potato, and my sweet onions, and I get that from me and Sophia, and they leave. I say thank you. About 30 seconds later, I hear a loud knocking on the door, and I'm like, damn, bro, relax. Like, what? Did you forget to give me my drink or something? Give me a fucking heart attack. I hate when people knock on my... Gone off on many door-to-door salesmen saying, brother, leave me the fuck alone. Like, is this an
I have never opened the front door without a gun in my hand. Actually true. 100% true. I usually don't even have it in the holster. I just have it behind my back. you do the little, you get the gun and you put it like behind your back and you walk up, and so you have your hand behind your back and you're like holding the gun, and then you open the door. Hi, how's it going? But you like actually have the gun. Yeah.
Skippable ad. Like, why are you showing up to my fucking house? Can I get YouTube Premium to skip these fucking ads? Anyways,
your door doesn't have a chain. No, I usually put like my foot in front of, like, you know how like if you can wedge your foot in the door and it has like a lot of leverage, so it'll be like really hard to knock it down. You could do that, yeah.
Knocking. I go to
open the door like Rebecca from Edge Runners. Yeah, basically.
The door, and as I'm opening this door, I can't remember how many fucking police officers it was.
That's so dangerous. If the cops see that in your hand, you're toast. I mean, like, you just check if they're a cop first, and then if they're a cop, you just tell them that you have it. You say like, hey, I have a gun. I have a gun in my hand. You just tell them.
Large amount of.
You don't answer through the camera. You can answer through the camera. Usually I don't really answer the door without looking through the camera in the first place. But you never know, because like sometimes like what they'll do, this is what criminals do, by the way. They'll have like some innocent looking person, like a woman or a child. They'll have them knock on the door, and then like actually there's like a dude hiding off to the side. Yeah. So you have to like kind of look through your cameras and stuff. Yeah.
Police officers come into my home and they take me out of my home. I immediately.
You can't tell if they're a legit cop or not based on how they act. Didn't that literally just happen? Where like some dude said they were a cop and then they shot a person like right at the front door? I swear that just happened.
Put my hands up.
Yeah, the congressperson. Yeah.
Hey, officers. This is a streamer house. I think I'm getting pranked. Please do not hurt my cats. Please do not hurt my dog. Because obviously.
Yeah, if you're a streamer, by the way, especially if you're a streamer that does like political content, you should definitely call your police office first. You should call your sheriff and tell them that like, hey, like my address, like, can you flag my address for like this? Because, you know, I'm a content creator and people like are going to come after me probably. Yeah.
I have 3 cats that I love very much, Banjo, Eggy, and Simba. And I have a dog, Mango. And in case you don't know, in swatting, when you get swatted, if an animal interferes with a police investigation of your home, they can kill them. If it interferes, if it causes them any inconvenience, they will kill them with the suspicion that it could potentially save a life by killing your animal. And the more and more I'm talking about this, I guess the more and more the reality of the situation is kicking in, where I realized that last night I could have lost the lives of my pets from doing nothing. They pull me out, they go inside.
That's why like these swatters need to have actual consequences. Like if they get caught, yeah, they should get absolutely fucked. Like
they interrogate Sophia.
It's dangerous.
They go upstairs, they check all the rooms. They go downstairs, they check all the rooms. Ironically, besides Jenazad's room, they don't go into Jenazad's room, they don't go into the attic, but they check every single room. They interrogate Sophia, they interrogate Anna. They ask them, I hear them from outside, has he ever done anything wrong to you? Has he done this? Has he done that? Has he touched you? Has he done this shit? Is he raping you? Like, has he done anything to you sexually that you don't want? And they come back outside, and I think it's like 3, maybe 4 officers pull me out to the front of my porch, and they say, so have you had any type of altercation, or have you ever yelled, or have you argued, or have you ever hurt any of these women inside your home?
Man.
And I say, and by the way, the entire time, my hands are up. The entire time. I do not.
Yeah, you don't want to get shot.
Down. Because I'm like, I'm just trying to cooperate here. I'm cooperating.
Yeah.
The officer says, mid-sentence, is like, hey man, you can put your hands down, it's okay. I can see that you're trying to work with us. And I say, thank you. Like, anything you want to know, please, like, just ask me. I'm here to help you guys. And I said, no. I mean, I guess Jenazad got upset at my dog last night. He yelled at my dog. And I said, well, then that's like the only thing I can even remember of anybody raising their voice. Like, you know, Mango was trying to eat his pizza and he got angry. And
what, the dogs eat pizza? Dogs can eat pizza? What the fuck? Really?
They said, okay, well, that's not it. And I said, is there like a reason why you guys are here in my house? And they told me that they got a report that I was raping women.
I only have cats and they eat only very specific things. They're kind of very picky.
House. And they told me that they got a report that I was raping women in my house and that I had 8 hostages in my home. And I asked,
holy shit.
Well, who said that? I said, well, who said that? And they said, well, we can't tell you that.
Yeah.
And then I started listing names of the people who I think would have done that. I'm not going to say who those are. I invite them inside. I talk to them for a little bit. They apologize with the whole ordeal. They mark my house down as a streamer house to where the police will be more cognizant and my house will never be swatted ever again. as well as my future house that I'm moving to has already been whitelisted.
Wait, you guys think it's those guys? You think it's those guys? You think it's team terrorist? I don't know.
Will never be swatted, which is great. So I'm safe from this from now on. We talk about how horrible it is that people do this to streamers. Any potential people who I think might be harassing me, I give them some names. From schizos to streamers, I name them all, just to kind of like set off a warning flag in case they hear one of those names calling about me. Because I think I know who did this. And I actually don't think it's a chatter. I don't think it's a schizo. I actually think it's a streamer.
What? It's a
I think
streamer?
it's a content creator. Yeah. And
Really?
It's not Miz. If it was Miz, I would just say Miz. It's not Miz.
Wait, does Miz hate Tectone? Guys, I'm gonna be real. I don't know any of this streamer drama shit. I don't know any of it.
I think I know who it is because I think there is someone in this town who wants me to kill myself. I genuinely do. No, I don't think it's Hassan either. I think it's, I feel like it's pretty obvious who I think it is, guys. The person who really doesn't want me to talk about him. I feel like it's incredibly obvious.
Okay, so it's a man. It's a man because he said somebody that doesn't want me to talk about him.
Yes. And I do think this person is trying to stress me out mentally enough to where I kill myself. I do. Because they know what I am going to say. They know the widespread coverage is going to happen. And the narrative of me is going to shift so drastically. Because when I'm allowed to tell the story that I'm going to tell you guys, with proof, by the way.
What story?
With receipts of everything that I'm saying, including legal court documents.
Man.
When I'm allowed to tell you guys the story that I'm allowed to tell you guys, it is going to change everything. It is. And I think it's very scary. And maybe this
is he like he's like in some kind of case right now where he can't talk about it.
Is my paranoia going to be? It could have just been a random schizo or chatter. And if it is, that's even more pathetic because me being outspoken of my opinions makes you want to come to my house and try to get me killed.
Yeah, there's a lot of people
my
like
pets,
that.
My animals.
There's a lot of like these kind of like rebel people nowadays that do that.
My girlfriend, my close friends. You want to get us hurt?
This is the problem with all of like the Nazi rhetoric and stuff like that. Like this person's a Nazi, this person's a fascist. You know, it's like it ramps up the temperature to the point that it causes people that are like not people that are already kind of crazy. It gets them to like think that they're doing the right thing basically by trying to get someone killed.
You want to get us?
It justifies the violence.
I'm outspoken about gotcha games. Because I'm a little bit more conservative with my viewpoint on life. Because I've called your streamers what they are, horrible pieces of shit. You want to try to kill me. This is insane. You are pathetic. And to be honest, all you've done is make me stronger. All you've done was give me a hit tweet. All you've done is give me a clickbait stream title. All you've done is give me a banger YouTube video that's gonna be a 1 of 10. And now all you've done is make it
1 of 10 is basically, so if you don't know about YouTube, in YouTube, it gives you rankings based on 10. So it goes like, of your past 10 videos, this video is this ranking. 1 of 10 means that it's like, you know, it's the best video in your last 10 videos.
To where these people who are conspiring to try to hurt me over me merely telling the truth online, it makes your side look insane. You've added another chapter to my storybook that I get to tell one day as a cautionary tale of do not get involved in the streamer world because my God, chatters and streamers alike are retarded. You're going to try to kill me by getting the police called on me. You're going to try to get my animals hurt. Well, unfortunately for you, once again, I am still alive. Unfortunately for you, I thought it was funny. To be fair, I was spooked for like 10 seconds. I was spooked for like 10 seconds. But then after that, I was just kind of just talking to police officers about donut operator and how stupid motherfuckers are that actually do this shit. So to be honest, good job. You tried. You did nothing. Everybody's cool. What's funny is Sophia and Anna didn't even care. And Jenazad just stayed in his room and kept sleeping. Then came out 30 minutes later and was like, hey, I heard the police out here, but it get more confusing, so I just stayed in my room. Mango got pet by every police officer, and everybody loved Eggy. Nobody pet Simba, unfortunately. So you tried once again, but like, I mean, this shit's getting fucking pathetic, man. Just understand that what's happening is going to happen. And I hate to disappoint you even further, but because
99 says, Leaf, I recently discovered that a good friend of mine has become a full-blown obnoxious communist. What do I do? It kind of depends on like what kind of person that they are, because I think you can still be friends with them if you can agree to disagree, right? Like you don't have to always talk about politics with a friend. You can just choose not to talk about it, or you can just say like, hey, we're just not going to agree on this. And I think that's fine. Like, I don't think you don't have to be in full agreement with every single person that you don't have to be in full agreement in terms of like, or politically aligned with every single person that you interact with. I think the only case would be like maybe like a significant other would be like maybe the case that you would want to be like a little bit more politically aligned with. But it's really going to depend on the type of person that they are, because they're the type of person that like won't drop it ever, and like they're just gonna like yell at you and stuff, then it might not be like a good relationship. Like, I'm not the type of person, I can't be friends with people that I don't agree with 100% and stuff. I have plenty of friends that I don't agree with on anything, politically, basically, and it's fine. And sometimes we have discussions about it and stuff, and it's fine. Like, we don't really hate each other over it. But I mean, finding those kinds of friends is like not really that easy nowadays. So it's really about like if you can have friends like that. I don't agree with Crimbo on like almost everything, and like Crimbo's my friend, right? In fact, his community fucking hates him. A lot of his community hates him because he's friends with me. He got a lot of flack on like online for being my friend, and like they told him like, oh yeah, you should say like fuck Leaflit and like, you know, like that she's a fucking Nazi fascist, and he said, oh she's not like that, and he got a lot of people like attacking him because he's friends with me. Yeah.
Because I'm such a paranoid man that even if I die, even if I get killed, even if I commit suicide, I would never commit suicide, by the way. I already have people who are going to share my story in the case of me dying. The world will know what you have done.
Dude, what does he have? Dude, this guy has like some kind of dead man switch. What the fuck's going on? Hillary Clinton is in Tectone stream. Dude, I know. What does he have? Does he have like the freaking Epstein tapes of the streaming community?
And nothing is going to prevent that. It will happen. The world will hear it. And it's only a matter of time. And by the way, to all of you people in Austin, I cannot wait for you to understand how much you enabled a horrible, horrible fucking human being.
It's a person in Austin. So guys, it's a person in Austin, Texas. Isn't that where all the streamers are in Austin? You think it's his ex? Austin is the California of Texas. It kind of is, yeah. It's a male. Yeah, true, that's right. He did imply it was a male, unless he's doing like some you know, like 1000 IQ bait, right? Where he doesn't like he says the wrong pronoun on purpose just to kind of mask who he's talking about. Tectone gay confirmed.
Thanks for watching.
Yeah, I wonder what's going on. Sounds like there's gonna be some like crazy like drama drop soon. He's in a lawsuit and in Austin. Yeah. That's crazy. I wonder what it is. I'm sure we'll find. I'm sure we'll find it out like soon. Like he said, like if he has it down so hard that he has a fucking dead man switch on it, then yeah. I mean, I'm sure we'll find out soon. Anyway.